Hey guys, I had to come back and do a part 2 because I forgot to explain something on 1 Corinthians 11 from the other video. If you came across this video, didn't watch the first one, I go into a very long detail, but this one's going to be short, just kind of breaking down 1 Corinthians 11, because I, like a lot of people, when I first read it, and I read, verse 15, we'll get to that in a second. I thought that our hair was our covering. But if you really read and break it down, no, that's not what Paul's talking about. So here we go. And I was messing around a lot with my hair with the other videos. Sorry about that. So 1 Corinthians 11, Paul says, "Now I praise you, brethren, that you remember me in all things and keep the traditions just as I delivered them to you. But I want you to know that the head of every man is Christ, and that the head of woman is man, and the head of Christ is God." So right there, he's making a distinction between their traditions, but what he wants them to know. So every man praying or prophesying, having his head covered, dishonors his head. But every woman who prays or prophesies with her head uncovered dishonors her head. For that is one and the same as if her head were shaved. For if a woman is not covered, let her also be shorn. But if it's shameful for a woman to be shorn or shaved, let her be covered. For a man indeed ought not to cover his head, since he is the image and glory of God, but woman is the glory of man. For man is not from woman, but woman from man. Nor was man created for the woman, but woman for the man. For this reason, the woman ought to have a symbol of authority on her head because of the angels. Nevertheless, neither is man independent of woman, nor woman independent of man in the Lord. For as woman came from man, even so man also came through woman. But all things are from God. Judge among yourselves. It is proper for a woman to pray to God with her head uncovered. Does not even nature itself tell you that if a man has long hair, it is dishonor to him? But if a woman has long hair, it is a glory to her, for her hair is given to her for a covering. But if anyone sees to be contentions, we have no such custom, nor do the churches of God." So, and with verse 15, I thought, okay, our hairs are covering. We don't, that's it. I was done with it. But then like I said, I went into deeper studying of this word. We see some people say, it's tradition, this cultural thing. And no, if we look at this, we see that he's talking about things that never change. He says, "I want you to know that the head of every man is Christ." That's not going to change. The head of women is man. That's not going to change. And the head of Christ is God. That does not change. And then when he comes down further on and talks about the angels, that's not going to change. There's fallen angels and there's God's angels. And so you can really see here that this is not a thing of tradition, but an establishment of God's, basically, just the way he established things is his establishment, period. So another thing I wanted to point out, that if Paul was talking about your hair, he would not go into details such as only cover it when you're praying and prophesying, because we already have hair on our head, okay? And then he would not tell the man that it's dishonorable for him to cover his head because he has hair on his head. So then he has to shave it when he goes into church or prays or prophesies to uncover it. No, he's talking about a covering. So you can see that it is dishonorable for a man to cover his head. So it's not hair because he has hair on his head. And for us, it's not hair because we already have hair on our head. So if it was hair, then that would mean that we would then I don't know, shave our head when we walk out of church, or when we're not praying or prophesying. So as you can see there, that throws off that theory that it's our hair. So that's why I just wanted to kind of go into more details about that, because if you really don't break this down and study it, you could get confused like I did. And I think that's why some women cover all of their hair, because of verse 15, along with all the other things I explained in my other video. You know, it's a form of protection from the Lord. So against, you know, spirits and stuff, and just protecting you, protecting your heart. You know, God never is going to do anything that's bad for us, obviously, right? What else can I say? Yeah, if you didn't watch my other video, I go into more details about my journey with the head covering. Like I said, I'm not one that does it all the time. There are people that do. And you're probably going to see other videos where I don't use it. Maybe I will. Who knows? But my earlier ones I didn't, because I just started, like I say, my road to surrender. And this is the process where I'm at. And it's just a blessing. So I think that was it, you guys. I pray you are blessed. Keep seeking the Lord. Keep getting into the Word. And don't let anyone deceive you, you know. Have a blessed day.